Good morning, Lionhearts. How are you? It's your old pal Jordan, and when I say good morning, I mean good 4 a.m. morning. It is 4 a.m. here, and I'm already showered, which means I was up at 3:30. Actually, I was up at 3:23. I decided to set my alarm on an off time because just knowing I have to wake up at like 3:30 for some reason, I don't know, it makes me feel like I have less time, but if I make it an odd number, I feel like I have more time. I can't explain that, but man, I do not like waking up early. Honestly, I know a lot of people are massive morning people, but not me. If I had my way, I wouldn't wake up or do anything until 7 o'clock. Anything before that, I almost can't function. You know, it's a funny story. Before I moved to Los Angeles, I had a night job at a computer factory to make money to move out here. And of course, I had a girlfriend at my second job when I worked at a hospital. So I tried to get shifted from my second shift job at the computer factory to first shift. The only caveat was I had to be clocked in at 6 a.m., which means I had to wake up at like 4 a.m. because I live pretty far away from the computer factory. Anyway, about a month, I did that for about 6 months, and I'd say about a month before I moved to Los Angeles, I would always joke with my boss. He actually was a pretty decent guy. I mean, he wasn't that much older than me. He was like 23, and I was 18. And I would always say, hey man, I only have to put up with you for like a couple more months because I'm moving to California. And I would always tell him I was moving to California. Then one day he walks by and he goes, hey, are you still moving to California in a month? And I go, yep. And he goes, okay. Very next morning, about 200 of us got brought into an office and got laid off. And you'd think, well, that's kind of a bummer. I actually had enough money to move, but I was kind of a workaholic. And my theory was that if I worked a lot there, when I moved here, I knew I wasn't going to work at all. I was just going to focus on school, and I wasn't going to work, so I might as well just put up with whatever I could. So I went into a temp agency. I said, I'll just pretty much do anything. I just want to work for like a couple of weeks. And they put me at a factory where you had to trim flash off of like plastic products out of a machine. And that place, I had to be at work at 5 a.m., which means I had to wake up at 3 a.m. And I remember both of those jobs, every day that I would wake up, the only thing that would get me through would me telling myself, hey, once you move to California, you'll never have to do this again. And here I am doing it again. But that's all right. It's worth it. To only work 2 days a week and be able to vlog, it's so worth it. And you know what, guys? I was watching a video yesterday of somebody talking about how you can view your YouTube as fun or you can view it as work. And they were saying like the difference is if you view it as fun, when you have a big successful video that gets like a ton of hits, that'll just be enough for you and you'll be excited and you'll feel like you're successful. But if you view it as work and you do it, well, like for me, I do it every day because I want to build it into something that I can look back and go, man, there's 1,000 days of my life doing cool stuff to show whoever, or if I die, there's the record of all of my experiences from however long to however long. But it just dawned on me, it's one of those things where I was like, they said, you know, if you look at it as work, every time you have a some sort of like a big video or any sort of sign of success, it'll feed that hunger to work harder. And I totally agree with that. I work on this every day. I have to supplement it by having a job that pays on the side, but I put in a lot of work to do this. So I know that you guys appreciate it, and I was just thinking like that's a very good way to break it down. You can do it for fun, you can do it for like a few of your friends to enjoy, or you can consider it work, which is all work doesn't have to be bad. Sometimes work is, you know, what makes you who you are. I remember a friend of mine once had a saying, he's like, having something to do and having a responsibility definitely keeps you well adjusted. If you don't have something that you view as a responsibility, you will let your mind wander into very dark territories and very crazy territories. And I totally agree with that. So anyway, I'm going to finish up my coffee, take out Jaw, who's tapping around right at my feet to go to the bathroom before I go, and then I'm going to go to work, and Sam Tripoli is going to swing by my apartment while I'm gone. He's going to pick up Jaw, and Jaw's going to go play at the park all day. So Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Look who it is. It's everybody's pal Jaw. That's all I could get out of him, guys. He was hidden under the bed, and then as soon as I put my shoes on, he hopped down and was ready to rock at the door. He knows when I'm going to leave, and he either gets really sad or he just decides he's going to, and that's the way it is. You know what the only good days about those really early mornings when I was working at those factories was for me? Is that my grandpa has habitually been an early riser. And I remember those days I was living in with my grandparents for about a half a year. And I remember those days I would wake up at like 3 a.m. or 3:30, 4 a.m., something like that, depending on where I was working. And I would go downstairs to take my shower, and he would race me almost because he would be up anyway. So some days I'd come walking downstairs to get my shower at like 4 a.m. and he'd go, "Hey, you're sleeping your life away." And then I'd do the same thing. Some days I'd be in the shower and I'd be turning on the water and I'd hear him creaking down the stairs and I'd say, "Hey, you're sleeping your life away." Those are one of those, like, as bad of a time as that was having to wake up and work. That's one of those funny memories I'll always have, is just like he and I racing each other to see who was up first. This is the kind of traffic I totally love. Love it. All right, next stop, Calabasas. Well, the sun's come up, the wind is blowing like crazy. I just ate breakfast and we haven't went and done anything yet, so I just figure I'll show you. This is pretty much the parking area. That's Calabasas. Take a look at that. Beautiful. Right when the sun's coming up. Alright guys, I made it. It's cold, it's extremely windy, and I'm on a gigantic cliff. So driving up here in the dark and there was no light, I was getting a mild panic attack, man, and I'm kind of starting to worry about it because it's only happening like on heights anymore. Like, it's whenever I drive, or if I'm not driving and I'm riding with somebody, I'm having panic attacks, or if I'm like at extreme heights or like low heights. It makes no sense, but anyway, I'm gonna start my work day. If we get done early and I can go vlog something, I will. If I can't, you'll be right now magically whisked away to Downey, California. That's right. Not just a clever sign. I am actually at the oldest operating McDonald's, and it's right here in Downey, California. This right here is actually the original building, and they have a little mini museum on the history of this building, the history of the McDonald's. And here's the actual operating McDonald's. Here's the operating McDonald's sign. Isn't that something? Let's go read the sign here. Originally opened in 1953. 15 cents for a burger. Fries were 12 cents. Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look at the museum here. You guys know what any old McDonald's looks like, but let's go take a look here. These original McDonald's hats. Can't even imagine people wearing them working here now. And I'm sorry about all the music. I may have to talk a lot just to keep that from... And this is actually one of the original serving windows. Can you believe it? They've got a lot of music playing in here, so I'm going to be just talking as much as I can to kind of cover that up. But let's go on into the actual museum. This is just kind of the entrance. Look at those old McDonald's logos on the door. There we go. Ray Kroc Hall. Look at that. I know a lot of people are probably just like, so what? It's just a McDonald's. And we're a health fanatic kind of world now, and we don't care about that, but you gotta love history. The oldest operating McDonald's. To be honest with you guys, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but McDonald's was the first legitimate job I ever had. I had done paper routes, and I had done summer umpiring, but for ever having to get trained working for a real company, McDonald's was the first place, and I hated it. That is not an easy job, I'll tell you that right now. There's the original milkshake mixer. That's a hard job, very hard job. And surprisingly, I lasted as long as I could. And then all the, you know, it was just the people that worked there were unhappy, and after a while you just didn't want to be there anymore. Check that out, one of the original offices. Wow.
No, I think they have to play back there. No.
And they said that the music that's being played overhead, the music that I'm trying to talk over, is the original music that would have been played when this first opened. Here's some of the history. We're not going to sit here and read all of it. I think you guys can kind of piece together from just what I'm showing you. I really wanted to mainly show you, look at that, the original doors for the first hamburger university. So they brought these from Oak Grove, Illinois. And there's a management trainee class right outside this building that I'm in right now. Some original menu. Pretty interesting. That's what it looked like in 1953. There's some original stuff here. The original bags. Those are old hats, old paper hats. Got the hairnet on top. Whoa. Whoa. McDonald's cups through the years. I don't think there's really anything McDonald's hasn't done. They've done pizzas and burritos. They've done just about everything. There it is. That's where we're inside of right now. Wow, that's the same sign. Well, not the same exact sign, but it's the same style. Everything has to be updated, I guess, at some point. Check all that out. Wow. Oh, look at that. They originally used menu tickets to take the orders. That was their way of speeding up service. And there's the first cash register. The suite of cash register. This is the original ad from Life magazine in 1968, introducing the Big Mac. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I just, you know, I like to bring you crazy things out of history, and when I was down in Downey and I knew that they had a McDonald's museum, I had to come show you. Just had to. Let's go in here. Oh, I guess it's locked. We'll have to look at Ronald from afar. There you go. People still here ordering, still kind of the original style service. The walk-up window, not quite like we know it now, but pretty cool. And then, like I said, this is where we were just at. This was the original building. This is now they've turned it into a museum, obviously, because we were just in there, but there it is. Well, there you go, McDonald's. You just got a free ad. How cool is that? I know it's kind of a weird thing to vlog, but the oldest McDonald's in operation, I felt like I had to do something. So there you go. There it is. Well, a good friend of mine saw the one of the vlogs, sent me something in the mail, and I guess it's gonna have to go on this jean jacket vest I made. Hey guys, I tell you, I am beat today. It was a long day in a lot of hot sun, a lot of wind, and I am just worn out. Hope you guys enjoyed the trip to McDonald's. After I saw the movie The Founder, man, it was kind of just definitely one of those things I wanted to see, because when I showed you the milkshake machine that was behind the glass case, that was kind of the whole like crux of this story, was that Ray Kroc was selling those machines where you could make multiple milkshakes, and the original McDonald's ordered a handful of them, and this guy, the salesman, came out to see why, saw how they operated, wanted to be a part of it, struck up a deal with them, and then started basically a realty company with the McDonald's name as well, and then was able to force out the brothers and make all the changes that he wanted, and basically took over the company. And a lot of people don't know it, and it's obviously not going to be mentioned in the museum, but a lot of McDonald's money comes from their real estate, which is they buy up the property, they franchise out the business, but part of the agreement for the franchise is that you have to do it on their land, so they're always getting that rental money or that leased money. So pretty genius. That's business for you. Anyway, I don't really know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm just worn out, and Jaw's going to get dropped off. He went and played all day, so I'm afraid I'll fall asleep on you guys. So thank you so much for watching. Your old pal Jordan the Lion loves you, and please like and subscribe to this video if you haven't already. And from Hollywood, California, Jordan the Lion and Jaw, wherever he is, say, from Hollywood, California, good night.